Welcome to Tuesday Chat with Mel, our summer edition. Today, I'm very happy to have Coach Leonardo join us for the first time this year. And of course, returning guests, Miss Myers joining us for those summer programming as we hit that middle and high school ages. I won't take up too much time, but I will tell you both, and I will tell everyone out there, I have my little bitty one in third, my big one in 10th, and we are in the midst of summer programming at this point, whether it's a pre-college program or looking at volunteering or summer at Sagemont Prep for the little bitty one. We're exploring all of that right now. So I look forward to hearing a bit more about summer at Sagemont Prep and some pre-college information as well. I'm here as a parent too, so you know. All righty, I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Leonardo.
I don't know if she's a little bitty one anymore, as far
In
as
my
that goes.
heart, yes, in my heart.
So I'm just gonna go over just kind of the wide range of programming we have at Summer at Sagemont Prep. Those of you that are returning families to Summer at Sagemont Prep, you'll see some new names. Same programming, just a little bit more creative, a little more fun as far as that goes. So I'll work my way all the way down from our little bitty ones all the way to our high school group as far as what you can do, what you can sign up for, and how you can get involved at Summer at Sagemont Prep. Our little preschool program that used to be called Preschool Camp is now called Curious Cubs. Those are our 3 and 4 year olds. And anything that I speak about in this session is what grade or what age they will be next school year. So if they're a 3 year old, they're going to be in the pre-K4 program, pre-K4 to kindergarten, so on and so forth. We go by whatever they're going in for the 26-27 school year. Um, so the way that program works is very similar to the way our school program works. They follow a links to learning curriculum, but it's a little bit more fun and engaging because it is in fact summer camp. So what does that look like? If they do an art project or things like that, they'll read a book. Maybe the book is about primary and secondary colors, and then they'll do an art activity based off that. They will stay basically in house with their group throughout the majority of the day, and there's no field trips for that group. We do have in-house components. Nextplore comes to us and they do STEM activities and things like that as far as that goes. For our Curious Cubs and then our Camp Roar program, you have a 4 day option and a 5 day option. I know some of us like to take trips over the summer, longer weekends, so we do provide that for you. Camp Roar, kindergarten through fifth grade. Um, they do different activities throughout the day. It's a block scheduling, so cooking, science, arts and crafts. We have what I like to call a social interactive game room. I don't like to call it just a game room because then we think at home they could play video games. So why am I sending them for camp for that? So I call it social interactive. So what does that mean? You got ping pong table, air hockey table, board games, thing where you need another human being to interact with in order to participate. So that's why we call it a social interactive game room. They do some engineering, sports. They also swim twice a week, just like they do during the school year, lesson-based swim instruction. So they continue that through the course of the entire 12 months, other than when it's cold during the school year. So they can continue to build upon their swim progress versus just like a free swim availability as far as that goes. And then once they reach first grade part of Camp Roar, on Wednesdays, they go on field trips. It's going to be bowling, Marlins games, things like that, just to kind of get their feet wet with field trips. And then as we move into fourth and fifth grade and into middle school, they don't really like to do those activities anymore. They just want to go out and have fun and do rock climbing and Rapids Water Park. So that's what we call now, used to be called Extreme Camp, now called Roaming Lion Adventures. As far as that goes, so fourth and fifth graders go on 3 field trips a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then our middle schoolers go on field trips Monday through Friday. They just kind of step foot on our campus as far as that goes. And then they go pretty much explore anything we have to offer in South Florida. We've gone all the way down to the Keys. We've done some 2 different versions of a snorkeling trip. Last year we did one that was inside a tank. So that was a pretty cool experience because everything is there since it is a habitat that is kept by that organization versus out in John Penny Camp, where sometimes you get a good day where you get to see a whole bunch of fish, and some days not so much depending on the weather. So we kind of have both varieties as far as that goes, which is really cool. And then we go all the way up to that Boca area as far as that goes, Rapids Water Park. So we kind of really cover all of South Florida as far as that goes. And then we do have most of the field trips planned. So if you have a child who just really wants to know the field trips for a specific week because they like to sign up based off the field trips. I know some parents tell me that because their kids love certain field trips, they plan their summer off of those field trips. We will have that by the end of March so that your kids can pick the week and then you could pick your exotic vacations or whatever you want around that. And then specialty camps change a little bit. We still have our sports camp returning. We have chess art, which was really popular. Yes, the kids do love chess art. I get that question all the time. Chess art all day. But really, they really enjoy the chess, the strategical thinking behind it. And then art, they do a wide range of art activities, pottery, clay, all that kind of stuff. They typically ask if you do have a child that's interested that you sign up for 2 weeks at a time because they do in-depth art projects. So it does take that 2 week span as far as that goes. And then really excited to add a wider range of culinary camps, dance camp, yoga camp. If you look through our brochure, each week's a little bit different. And then we have Code a Robot all summer long, which is obviously exciting to me as the elementary robotics coach. So those of us that want to continue to grow over the summer, to build for the school year or just enjoy robotics in general, we do have that offering as well. And those specialty camps range from K-5. With our traditional camps, our line adventure camps, they are separated by grade they're going into. When it goes into the specialty, it's based off the enrollment portion. So if there's a wider range, you might have K2 together and then third through fifth together, or a smaller range, they will have those groups together because you're getting group based off interest as far as that goes. And then if you do have a high schooler at Sagemont Prep, before I hand it over to Miss Myers, there's definitely a whole lot of volunteering opportunities at summer at Sagemont Prep. A really good way to start building those service hours, whether your child's in an honor society, things like that. As far as that goes, that is run by Mr. Cheatham. And not only are they getting hands-on experience in the field of summer camp, but this year they will be diving into leadership strategies, things like that, as far as that goes. So there will be pull-out groups because since we have Miss Taylor on board with us as our other assistant camp director, filling out activities and things like that, Mr. Cheatham will really focus on the volunteers so they can get those life skills while working in the workforce. So there will be some times throughout the week where they get pulled and do workshops to work on those components as well. So now not only are you just getting hours and so hanging out with the students, but you're gonna learn those skills as well. And from that point, I'll hand it over to Ms. Myers so she can go over some more high school options and middle school options for our kids.
Before Ms. Myers goes, can I ask a quick question, Mr. Leonardo? For
Yes.
those high school kids, because I know it's a very popular thing. We've had lots of kids that have volunteered throughout the summer, whether it's for 2 weeks, a month, all summer long. As a parent, I know you guys haven't released it yet. Around when should I expect for that registration to begin? Just so I don't miss it in case my child doesn't necessarily tell me about it.
I would say first week of April, as far as that goes. Mr. Cheatham will send something out and it will also be posted in all their Google Classrooms so they can start also planning that as well.
Ah, perfect. Thank you so much. Nia will
No
certainly
problem.
be there this summer. Miss Myers, take me to the college pathway. Take me to high school, middle school planning as well.
Actually, I'll kind of pick up where Mr. Leonardo left off. Just for those of you on the call that weren't familiar with all of the community service hour requirements, middle school through high school has community service requirements, and it depends on if you're in honor societies or not. Our rule of thumb, we love to encourage all of our high school students to get about 100 hours a year. That's mandatory if you're in an honor society, and it's recommended if you want to get that really snazzy gold tassel for community service when you walk across the stage at graduation. So it's 25 hours a year is our minimum graduation requirement, 100 hours per year if you're in an honor society, that's high school. And then again, in middle school, it's 15 hours a year. If you're in middle school, but if you're in a junior honor society, the National Junior Honor Society, you need to do 50 hours per year. So just something to keep in mind on that. And Camp Sagemont is one of the ways we just discussed in one of our advisory sessions, a great way to pick up hours. Actually, many of the students that work at volunteer during the summer at Camp Sagemont Prep are almost all done for the year. So it's a great way to do that, and it ties in nicely. For those of you that have juniors and sophomores, we have been meeting with those students in advisory. We will be getting to the ninth graders soon. Our seniors, I probably don't have any senior parents on this call because we're talking about summer. They're going to be like, long gone, we graduate and we're off to college. But we have been focusing on pre-college programs in our advisory sessions. So right now, if you have a 10th or 11th grader, all students, if they weren't absent that day, have SCORE accounts. Now, SCORE accounts are a great way to start that college process. So ask your child to log in. It's a very user-friendly platform that allows you to apply and search colleges because the search tool feature is great. Very, very informative. So our advisory right now has been focusing on how do you make your summers more meaningful for that college experience? And there's a variety of ways. Pre-college programs are an excellent way for ninth, 10th, and 11th graders to experience life on a college campus. These programs range from a week to full summer programs depending on the program. Some programs are absolutely free, but usually those programs are highly competitive. So that's why, and they look very good on when you're building that college resume. Some there are fee-based. But the great thing about pre-college programs and why we recommend as a rule of thumb to attend at least one pre-college program at a university structured on taking courses is to experience college life. A, you're with professors, you're with other students, and they're also interest based. So if you ask, which pre-college programs right for my child, well, it really depends on your child. So we ask a lot of the students, we also build self-advocacy skills here. So we're asking the students to schedule those meetings with our student support team. And I can tell you they're doing just that because the team has been swamped with students researching programs of what's interesting for them. And another reason why you should really investigate this option is also to find out what they don't like to do. I can't tell you how many meetings we've had with seniors where attendance at a pre-college program has really informed their actual college application process. They started, they're like, I am computer science all the way. I'm computer science. I'm computer science. They went to a summer program at MIT and they were like, I do not like computer science. Uh, so, you're like, oh, is that a waste or whatnot? No, actually, it's not a waste. It just is informing them that when you're intensively studying at a university setting, that wasn't for them. So it's a great thing to experience. It's also a way to experience campus life. Do I really like a huge campus? Do I like the city campus, et cetera? So it's all informing that journey. So if you have a child, again, there's a lot of local programs that you can do as a commuter student here. So if you have a ninth grader and you're sitting there like, I don't know if I want my baby to be going out of state or flying or being away, you're not comfortable, there's local programming. As well as those out-of-state programs. The application windows for pre-college programs, most of them open up. Some open up early for those really competitive ones. So those windows for those highly competitive free ones might be closed at this time, but starting in December, closing in about April, May, depending on the program. So be aware that there are application deadlines when you are looking at pre-college programs. So again, if you have a child that's interested in studying, over the summer, you just reach out to Miss Becerra, our school counselor. She's done this work for years, and we can schedule a meeting with you and your child, or your child to point them on the right direction, because it really is individual based on, oh, my child's really interested in writing or in forensic science or engineering. There's literally a summer program for everyone. It's also a great opportunity if your child is maybe a junior, 10th grade, and they have a specific dream college they'd like to attend. Living on that campus is a great way to experience if that is in fact their dream college, getting familiar with their programming, teachers, etc. I also want to talk about that full picture. Is it necessary to do a pre-college program every single summer? Not necessarily. Does it hurt? No. But what colleges and universities are looking today is that kind of cohesive look. They want a student to have maybe one pre-college experience and community service that's tied to what they're looking for. Maybe it's an internship option as well. So as long as students starting in high school are spending their summers in a productive manner, whether it's community service, a pre-college program, an internship, a combination of two or all three, and structuring that, that looks really great when they're building the application for college, because colleges now, particularly the competitive ones, or again, if you're applying to a program within a college, I'm applying specifically for that engineering school within a college, or I'm applying for this entrepreneurship. It gives students something to write to. A lot of times, not just they won't just have their college essay, they'll have supplemental essays as well. So it's a great way to put them in experiences, that they have something to write to. It was a struggle, or I loved it, or I learned something. It just gives them more to write to for their college applications themselves. So bottom line is there's a summer combo platter, if you will, for every child, and you have a whole team here that can walk you through the process, because it does look different for everyone. For those of you with little, I call them in a very loving way, my little squirrels, my little middle school squirrels, because they love to be squirrely all around the courtyards. I'm looking, we just finished lunch too, so it's always fun to see them. We have some programs for rising sixth grade and seventh grade students. It is a new program. It's a new program called the Sagemont Scholars Program. It is going to be, and I had my dates, it's right before school starts. It is the week of August 3rd through August 7th for 3 hours a day. That will be foundational math skills and also kind of executive functioning skills. So time management, how to study, let's get organized. So that will be taught by one of our math teachers here, as well as our school counselor, Miss Becerra, and another teacher doing organizational skills. So it's really, if you have a middle schooler that this year has been a bit of a struggle, you're finding just sheets of paper jammed into their book bag, they don't know how to use their Google Classroom calendar, etc. I highly recommend that. So again, that's for rising sixth grades through seventh grade students. So that's the Summer Scholars Program for middle school. We also, there is a small cost associated. It's $250 for the week. But again, it's 3 hours a day for that week. There is also another program free, and this is for our high school students that are really serious about robotics and engineering. It's our Robotics Summer Accelerator. It's that same time frame, and that's for students interested in participating in our V5 high school competitive robotics team. Those robots are highly complex and beyond my understanding, so they need a little extra time before the school year because building coding does take some time. So we're going to kind of jumpstart the competitive year with that team, with that Robotics Summer Accelerator. Another thing that we are launching this summer, you all heard about our London School of Economics partnership. We had the Great Summit in January. We're continuing to partner with them, and they have created a wonderful opportunity for our students. It is the LSE Generate times Jamaica program entitled Climate Risk, Resilience, and Disaster Innovation Program. So that is for my students that really are innovators. They're interested in entrepreneurship, but they also kind of have that environmentalist mindset. So I know I've talked a lot about these programs and dates, so I will be emailing you all that information about those different programs. But I think, just again, to underscore, it's really important, to be thoughtful about the planning process. Now, even if you have middle schoolers, rising ninth graders, how do you utilize your summers? I know a lot of our families love to travel, and I do think travel sometimes is the best education you can have. So I'm not telling you not to, but just be thoughtful and looking of as you're looking for your family vacations. Some of these summer programs have very specific time frames. So to just kind of look at that big picture as you're planning, to give them that competitive edge that they need for college.
Thank you so much, Ms. Myers. And speaking of travels, Ms. Myers says, I know you'll be traveling from a former college counselor. Use that summertime as well to pop over to a college campus. So even if your child is not engaging in a program on that college campus, you're going through wherever, Gainesville, pop by UF, pop by wherever, even if it's not a formal tour, because guess what? It might be, I'll give you an example. Over the Thanksgiving break, we were driving to Georgia. So it wasn't a formal tour that I went on with my girls, but nonetheless, we were able to stop by two college campuses. For one, they're actually some of the areas were open, so we're able to go into some of the buildings. And for nothing else, it gave at least my oldest one, my youngest just had fun running around the campuses. My oldest, an idea of just different feel, right? Of what an urban campus looks like or feels like compared to more rural ones. So, and then they just start to formulate their ideas that way. So even outside of the actual programming, do use that travel time. And again, sometimes it's for a half hour, go have lunch on a college campus, and it gets them excited about that future planning. So just a quick tip there. All righty. So with that being said, lots that the children can do. I know for mine, they are doing a variety of things. So yes, for my oldest, we're going to definitely do a pre-college program, but we're also going to be volunteering as well. So really to go back to what Ms. Myers said, it's not one thing that you simply have to focus on. Find what your kids like and what they enjoy. And that's what they're going to continue doing, right? So don't think of something that you want to force them into. Really sit down and have that conversation with them of like, what do you want to explore this summer? And it could be something local. It could be something with us volunteering over the summer. It could be going to, camp with us. Whatever it is, learning and fun are not separate things in the summertime. They really still go hand in hand. So do utilize that time. And again, if you have questions, especially for summer camp with us, do reach out to Mr. Leonardo. And if you're thinking as a parent, oh my goodness, I have that high school kid or someone that's going, my eighth grader transitioning to ninth, and what programs are out there? Where can I find these options for my child? Please just reach out to us. As Ms. Myers says, we do have a full team at the upper campus working hand in hand with the kids. Currently, they're doing some of that work in their advisory session. But outside of that, please know that we'll sit down with your child to find the best option for the summer, because it's really remarkable what they can learn. And to go back to a point Ms. Myers says, even if they go to something on their attended program, they might walk away going, wow, this is absolutely 100% what I want to do in the future. And then they start looking at those college options and future planning for it. Which has happened to my child, right? And then other thing happens, they go, which also happened, and she's like, oh my gosh, no, what was I thinking? This is not what I want to explore. So it really is good on both ends for them to have those experiences. So thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Leonardo. Thank you.
But I forgot one thing.
One
thing. I'm so sorry. Just as it's important, what I also told your children, and this is more specifically if I have juniors, and even sophomores for that matter, utilizing that summer as well for college test prep. There is the August testing date, so that's one of the things that we did give the students is all the ACT and SATs, but utilizing that time to also prepare. Remember, our Sagemont Prep families do enjoy a discount if you choose to prepare with Princeton review courses. We do highly recommend doing the courses, as well as all Sagemont Prep students have access to IXL, which does have test prep that they can do for those college entrance exams embedded in it, as well as sitting and practicing with Princeton Review. You can take sample and they're free. So even if you choose not to take the course, the IXL is obviously free, and then you can take a free full full length, and it gives you quite an accurate score report. Every student, 9th, 10th, and 11th, sat the PSAT in the fall with us. And then our 9th and 10th graders in April will be sitting the pre-ACT test with us. So those are really good predictors. They give us really full score reporting so you have a better understanding of how they can prepare.
Thank you so much, Ms. Myers. And just so everyone knows, I'm looking through, and we're going to stay on for a bit longer in case you have any specific questions. But thank you for those that have to hop off, because I know we're coming up on our time. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, if you have specific questions about programming, summer programming for your children, do reach out to us, because they're very specific, especially as they get older. It really starts to be based on their preferred interests. So we want to have those conversations with you and with your child. So again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon in Carpool. Bye, guys.